The person in the mirror. We live in a world of excess, access, and almost instant availability, perhaps with the notable exception of cleaning supplies, bread flour, and toilet paper. These times can challenge our healthy coping strategies, and behaviors that previously worked may now cause problems or conflicts. The double whammy to this, of course, is that social connections are often the best antidote to our problems, and now even those are understandably challenged and impaired. But I can tell by looking out my window as I pound away at this that when this crisis finally passes, and it will, many of you will be healthier than when it began. What will make the difference? When I began my career in addictions years ago, I remember an older recovering mentor telling me, and sharing the poem at the end of this, "This can happen to anyone, and no one chooses it chooses them." I really didn't believe it at the time, but it was and is true. And now there are many other areas we can get into trouble. Online gambling and other digital enticements, screen time, and tried and true basics such as overeating, substance abuse, and alcohol await us with 24-hour availability. These potential potholes of life are there just waiting for our arrival. How do we get there, and how do we prevent and avoid a full chassis realignment? For some of us, it comes naturally, genetics, while for others it requires dedication, hard work, and practice. Whether it is for symptom relief, to feel better temporarily, to sleep, to calm down, for fun, or feel better, most of these potential potholes do work. But the relief is not lasting, many times requires a larger dose, and the problems return afterwards, many times accompanied by increased guilt, reduced self-esteem, in addition to the disappointment of those that love us. If we stay on this path, denial, blame, rationalization, projection, and justification can increase. These unhealthy coping mechanisms become survival skills, as does non-desirable social and emotional distancing from those we love most. With enough practice, this delusion of self-deception can become our manufactured and inaccurate false reality. I've heard abuse and addiction described as a desire for connection, and yet it destroys the connections most valued and important to us. I am sure by now that you've heard enough about healthy eating, exercise, sleep, meditation, yoga, and don't forget Rolfing, acupuncture, acupressure, and transcendental analysis. I would also add drumming, now that I add this later. It's hard to debate or underestimate their value, but do they work for you? I suspect that in addition to find something that creates connection, gives life meaning and purpose, we all want something that works and lasts. That's where the problem in searching begins: impatience. Who wants relief that requires time and patience? Was it Mark Twain that once said, "God give me patience and give it to me now"? Not many of us in this fast-paced, instant-pudding, fast food world of conflicting demands. But we all need to find something that works and doesn't make something else worse in the process. Personally, I lean towards dogs and motorcycles, which may be beside the point. Always wear a helmet, and not necessarily for your dog. People that will come out of this crisis healthy will have continued healthy self-care behaviors. A special report just came on over the news as I'm still pounding away at this. There will be at least an additional 75,000 deaths of despair as a result of this crisis. That should activate both our own internal personal compassion department as well as our own self-care mechanisms. I challenge all of you to be kind, loving, and compassionate, to start right now and with yourselves. This is a time of great change, so please take the time to focus on yourself and create the change in yourself that you want for yourself. That person is there, longingly awaiting for you to arrive, and we here in the EAP are awaiting your arrival as well. The Man in the Mirror, by Dale Wimbrough, 1934. When you get all you want, and you struggle for pelf, and the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your mother, your father, or wife whose judgment upon you must pass, but the man whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you right to the end, and you've passed your most difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. You can fool the whole world down the highway of years and take pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass.